Social media marketing, it is one of those things that everybody and their mother thinks they know a little bit about. From our actual mothers maybe giving us business advice to those clients who think, I don't know, my 12-year-old nephew could do a better job running social media than a trained professional. So I thought that I would do a little twist on a Q&A video and ask for some of your unpopular opinions. I asked you over on Instagram. You can follow me over there if you want to take part in future videos like this. And we got some spicy ones, some hot takes, some that I agree with, some that I don't. Let's hop in. First one is pretty innocent. It says that Facebook groups are a trap. They're time consuming and low quality engagement. And I'm a little bit torn on this one, to be honest. I agree, but I also disagree. I did a video all about Facebook groups. I will link that up here in the cards, and it definitely requires concentrated effort. I think a lot of the times people, will say, oh yeah, you can get a lot of clients, a lot of social media advice, whatever, on Facebook groups, but it's not just as simple as just joining the group, right? You really do have to have a strategy. You really have to be in there frequently and making meaningful engagements. So I would agree that it definitely is time consuming. And I think that over the years that I've been involved in Facebook groups, I will admit that I have seen the quality of the posts go down. I feel like I used to make really good friends and have really good conversations on there, and now it just seems like people want to spam a lot. So I would mostly agree with that one. This is a spicy one. We got a couple actually related to this one. We've got one that says Twitter is overrated and seems to be dying out. And Twitter is not it. It's difficult to be relevant and easy to get in trouble. Again, a couple years ago, 10 years ago probably, I would have said Twitter is my favorite social media platform. I loved Twitter. I've been on it, really from the beginning, basically. And I did really enjoy it. But I have found, and this is me personally, personal opinion here, I have found that Twitter has gotten more and more toxic recently. I don't know why that is, but I feel like there's little mini wannabe professors on there who think that they know everything, especially about marketing or social media. And they're like the police. They're like the marketing police. And I really don't enjoy that. I'm also very introverted, and I just don't enjoy confrontation. And I don't think it's the best platform for me. I actually find it to be, like I said, the most toxic platform. A lot of people say it's Instagram, but for me, it's Twitter. It makes me feel really bad about myself. What I'll say though, from a social media marketing perspective, personal feelings aside, is that Twitter still very much does have a place in the social media marketing ecosystem, if you will. If you do have a client that is a thought leader, maybe they're an author, a speaker, they attend a lot of events, you certainly should still be putting an effort into Twitter. Just because we might personally find it annoying, I don't think we should eliminate that from what we offer our clients. Like I said, Twitter is the place for events, and I think maybe that's part of why I'm not loving it over this past year, because I haven't been attending events. But if you go to a conference, you gotta be on Twitter. That's how you interact with other guests. And similarly, if you're speaking at a conference, you need to be on Twitter. As far as getting in trouble on Twitter, I thought that one was kind of interesting. I do think that the approach most people are gonna wanna take is taking a stance. Like I said, there's all these people who think they know everything. And I feel like to be successful on that platform, you really do have to show up as yourself. You have to be willing to get in a couple of debates to stand up for what you believe in. And like I said, as an introvert, as somebody who hates confrontation, that's not something I'm interested in doing. I'm like, I don't need to prove that freelancing is the way. I don't need to prove that I make a certain amount of money. I don't need to prove any of this stuff to you guys. But if that is, the right place for your clients, I think they've got to be comfortable getting in a couple of confrontations. And you can just write out customer service responses so that you have them in the queue. In my social media management toolbox, I have a template for building out customer service responses for social. This is really important. So you just always have them on hand. So if you post, the grass is green, and somebody is like, no, it's not, it's actually blue, you have a response that you can just copy and paste and tweak a little bit to really solidify your stance on something. And and just kind of win that Twitter battle, I guess. Clubhouse is way overrated. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I told you so, but no, I think Clubhouse is cool. I think it was a cool concept. I said it pretty much from day one that I don't personally feel that it's going to have stay power. That's just my opinion, and I still don't know, and I'm not here to trash any startups or anything like that. I hope they succeed if that's what they want to do, but for me, it's just not appealing long term. I mentioned this many videos ago, but repurposability, I don't think that's a word, but there's no way to repurpose Clubhouses. That's the whole point, is that they're exclusive. They're not supposed to be recorded. So that's a bummer for any social media marketer or anyone who's looking to maximize their workflow. I feel like it's a Zoom call or a phone call, a conference call. Like, just make a conference call or a Zoom call and turn the cameras off. I guess I'm not understanding. I do understand, but I don't understand. So anyway, yeah, I think this is why I always say to people, test things. Don't go all in just because something is like the new fad or the new trend. Don't go all in with, something that hasn't proven itself yet, that hasn't shown any revenue possibilities. Like, if we're talking from a social media marketing perspective, obviously from a personal perspective, if you love Clubhouse, do Clubhouse every day. But if you're trying to do this for a client, don't go all in and don't start abandoning your existing strategy for the new guy, the shiny new object that hasn't even been able to prove that it's going to make your client any money or move the needle for them. So again, continue to test. I'm not saying Clubhouse is dead. I don't know. I haven't logged on to Clubhouse in a really long time, but if it is something that you're liking doing, keep doing it. Just keep testing it and don't abandon your other strategies. So this is one I really wanted to talk about today. We've got a few here. Going viral on Reels won't guarantee you long-term growth on Insta. And then we've got another one, I guess it's more of an annoyance. People saying Reels will blow up your account. I feel like I had another one too. Similar, going viral will not give you a bunch of clients. IG Reels are not worth the effort. Must I go on? Okay, so I wanna talk about the real deal here. Reels are a tactic, right? Instagram carousels are a tactic. Instagram stories are a marketing tactic. They're not a marketing strategy. I want to be clear about what the differences are. A tactic is something that you can try. It's an action that you can take. It's something that you can do. And a strategy, particularly a content strategy, is what makes up the story. It's what tells the story. It's the idea of what you're gonna say and what your stance is on on issues is gonna be, and what your whole platform is going to be. So I wanna make the differentiation because, I know that there are a lot of coaches and educators out there who say post Reels and they'll basically change your life. Yes, Instagram is prioritizing Reels and the algorithm, just like they prioritized, probably carousels when that feature first came out, just like they prioritized IGTV when it first came out. That is a thing. When any social platform puts out a new feature, they want you to use it. And the reason they want you to use it is because those features were designed to keep people on the app, right? And so the more that they get people to use these newly designed features and keep more people on their app, the better their numbers look. So of course they want you to use these new, cool features that are addictive and that people want to watch. It just makes sense. They're gonna reward the creators who are doing that in the algorithm. But if you've taken any of my courses, if you've heard pretty much anything from me, you will probably have heard me say, I don't really pay that much attention to the algorithm. That is a part of it, but it is not everything, because the algorithm hacks and tricks and things like that you'll learn are very fleeting. What happens is Instagram or any social platform, they all kind of work the same way. They're gonna prioritize these things while they're new, while they're hot, and while they get that sort of test data from you. And then it's gonna be either on to the new thing or back to normal, or you're gonna have user audience disengagement. They're gonna be overwhelmed with them and bored of them because everybody's doing them and they're not compelling and they're not that new shiny object anymore. So my ramble, the point of me saying that is that it is not to say that Reels will not grow your account, but I can post a Reel every day of me drinking water, doing a dance, like whatever. Meanwhile, I can post a static image of a normal post that I normally post, you know, with a really insightful caption, with some tips, with some advice, whatever. And that one's gonna perform better than me drinking water and doing a dance and not really like doing anything, not really giving any value. And the reverse is true. You know, I can put a lot of intention behind a reel, post something really educational, informative, and then I can post like a selfie, you know, so the point is you have to still have that content strategy behind it. Try reels, try carousels, try stories, try IGTV, try Clubhouse, try TikTok, try all these things. But at the end of the day, you have to have a content strategy behind it that is meaningful and that is not just like hopping on trends and just ticking boxes. I feel like not everybody, I'm never picking on anyone. There's a lot of people who are doing reels and TikToks and whatever really, really well. But I think there's also a lot of people who are just doing it just to do it. And I'm really fighting myself not to do that. I do know that I should be trying more reels. I do know that I definitely should be on TikTok a little bit more. I have one TikTok up. It's on my to-do list, but I don't want to do a TikTok just to do a TikTok, right? I want to make sure that it is going to help people, that it is going to be valuable. And that's my tea on that. Similarly, I won't say much on this one, but we did get another comment that said social media growth happens faster through actual networking than it does trying to play the algorithms. Basically everything I just said. One, I really talked about content and having valuable content and a good content strategy, but also yes, networking. Like I would rather see somebody put an hour, I would rather see that person put that hour into making genuine relationships and connections and talking to people and engaging than just posting a trendy piece of content, whether that was a reel, a story, a carousel, whatever. That's personally where I would like to see that time go. This one's pretty funny. I feel like people make up inspirational stories to post on LinkedIn. Yeah, I saw one. I wish I could find it. I probably am not going to be able to, but I saw one that was like, this guy posted, I was on my way to a job interview and then I saw a dog get hit by a car and then I saved the dog and then I went to the interview and I told him the story and then the dog was the one interviewing me or something like that. Like I don't remember exactly what I said, but it was basically like a mockery of those inspirational stories. I don't know if people are genuine. I like LinkedIn, but it is a very particular platform. Like I find it actually to be one of the most judgmental and kind of like mean platforms, which you would think is not the case because it's a professional network, but there are definitely things that I will and will not post on LinkedIn as far as like opening up personally, because I feel like people can be really attacking in certain ways. So anyway, I got a couple videos on LinkedIn. I'll link them up here if you want to check them out. In years, I don't know what this means, in years, there will be too many social media marketing agencies and the industry will collapse. Again, I feel a little conflicted on this one. It's like I do and I don't agree. I mostly disagree, and I mostly disagree just because I always compare anything. I mean, people are saying that about influencer marketing, that the influencer marketing bubble is gonna burst. There's gonna be too many influencers. I mean, I don't know, how many plumbers are there in the world? How many truck drivers are there? How many coffee shops, like just in my town, just in a 10-mile radius of me, how many coffee shops are there? Like there's always gonna be competition. And I don't necessarily think that the bubble is going to burst, if you will, but I think, yeah, people are gonna be pushed out. I don't think everyone's gonna succeed. And I think we just have to be realistic about that. I don't think every single social media marketing agency is gonna become this billion-dollar or million-dollar company. There's gonna be winners and losers, if you will, from a business perspective. And I think that's just true for any business. So I don't know, I guess I have a hard time when people say things like that, because I think you could say the same thing for anything out there. And I'll also say that job prospects for social media are looking pretty up right now, just in general. I mean, every company needs social media. Realistically, I'm not saying every company uses social media, but every company could really benefit from social media. So it's not like there's a shortage of clients. I think maybe the challenge there is going to be proving the value of social media to some of these companies who are maybe a little bit more reluctant to adopt social. But I don't know. I mostly disagree with that. Facebook is the literal worst in terms of back-end management for ads. For real, they put zero effort into making it usable for the average person. I completely agree with that. I don't know what their angle is. I really don't. It's like, do you want people to use Facebook ads or not? I went to a Facebook event. It was, like hosted by Facebook, and it was aimed at small business owners. And I went just to network with other small business owners and just to honestly like scope it out and see what the heck Facebook was telling these small business owners, like mom and pop restaurants and things like that. And it was interesting because they were pretty much just pushing Boost, like to use Boost. They definitely didn't encourage them to use Ads Manager themselves. So I don't really know. Like, I don't know. I don't understand what they're trying to do because there is so much cool things that you can do with Facebook ads, but it is really hard to understand. My advice to you is to start small. I did not know how to do everything from day one. My last corporate job was as a paid ads strategist. So I did all the paid advertising. I started out knowing nothing about ads, and I just learned just by doing, okay, let's do one traffic driving ad. Let's do one conversion ad. Let's do one retargeting ad. And slowly I started to actually learn how to put the full thing together. Like on first ad attempt, you're probably not going to be doing this intense retargeting ad using the pixel and, doing all this in-depth tracking. You're probably not going to. If you can just start slow and say like, okay, I'm going to send traffic to this site and spend $20 or whatever, you can kind of build on it from there. So that's sort of my advice. And also use your own account as a test dummy. Use your own account. You're not going to like hurt anything. Just put forth a small budget, $5 a day or whatever, and test out some of the features. But I agree, it's like very, very complicated. Too many I don't know if this is supposed to say guy or if that was a typo, but too many guy social media managers take the money and ghost. I don't know if they're talking specifically about gender, in which case I can't agree because I don't have data to support that, and I don't want to like stereotype men's social media managers. I think that might have been a typo though. I think it's just supposed to say too many social media managers, and that's unfortunate if that's true. I hope that's not true. I agree, but I disagree again. I mean, I do hear from clients a lot that they've worked with agencies, they've worked with other freelancers or whatever, and they've just been really unhappy. I haven't necessarily heard like take the money and run, but I have heard a lot of like, they said they were gonna do this and they really only did like one post a week kind of thing. So again, going back to the whole, is the social media marketing agency bubble gonna burst? I think this is why it's not going to too, because there are a lot of people out there who say they can do things or say that they are willing to do things, and then they're not really doing a fantastic job. And again, I'm not picking on like social media marketers. Obviously, that's what my whole channel is catering to. It's for you guys to learn. You can say that for any company. Again, there's so many bad restaurants out there that go out of business shortly after opening because they give bad customer service or their food is gross or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. The last one I'm gonna respond to today is people still don't appreciate this job. They just think it's easy, and I completely agree. I would have thought that this would be getting better by now, because when I first started, I feel like it was like, one, we didn't really have data. Like we didn't really have good tracking methods to explain what we were doing and to show ROI for our jobs. And so I can kind of understand why people thought we were just playing on Facebook. But it's been like many years now that this industry has existed, and I still feel like people think it's just playing on Facebook. We're just making memes. We're just tweeting all day. And there's so much more that goes into it. And, I think this is really the case for reporting. And I always encourage my clients, my social media marketing agency or freelance clients, to meet with their clients at least once a month, call a meeting every single month, and walk through a report with them. I have a video all about reporting. I think there's a free reporting template in there as well. There's also reporting templates in the social media management toolbox. I'll link that down below. But yeah, have a meeting every single month with them and actually show them like, hey, this post that we published we had this many eyeballs on it. It was shared this many times. We got this many clicks to the website from it. If you can get as far as, detailed tracking, we got this many sales from it. Like, really break things down, because if you're just kind of like either showing raw numbers, that can kind of be out of sight, out of mind. Like, you're not really telling the full story. And if you're not doing anything, they don't know what the heck you're doing. So I think it's really important to really prove your value even once you've secured that contract. Keep that conversation going with them and explain what the heck you're doing. As far as like random people, like random people on the street who think that we are just hanging out on the couch doing nothing, I don't know. I think just don't care. Like, try not to care. Try to care less about what people think. But it is a little bit hard. And I think especially if you're working in corporate still, or you want to work in corporate, like even I've thought about this. If I ever want to go back to working full time, I don't know. Having to prove your value and like climb that ladder, it's so funny, because I feel like in corporate I was always like the lowest person on the rung, like the lowest rung in the office. Even though, and I'm not saying other people didn't do stuff, obviously I'm not trying to put other people down to put myself up, but like I was doing basically copywriting, graphic design, video, content, PR, crisis communication, customer service, marketing strategy, paid ad strategy. Like, how much more do I need to do to be taken seriously? Why is that an entry-level job? I'm literally the closest to the customer. So I will be honest that I share that frustration with you, and that's why I don't work in corporate, if I'm being honest. That's one of the big reasons, because I feel I get a lot more kind of respect for my job and my role as a business owner. Some people totally got it, but I think sort of the institution as a whole of corporate ladders doesn't fully respect social media management yet. So I don't know, keep trying to prove that value, keep telling those stories, and brag a little bit, really celebrate your own success. All right, I hope you found this video interesting or funny or entertaining in some way. If you did, be sure to leave me a big thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel by clicking that subscribe button down below and turning on the bell notification so you don't miss a video. I post every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.